Hello, in this video, I will review the signals provided by Sunshine AI Signals and how they can be used to trade the ES500 or MES 500 future contracts. You can also trade using options or ETFs, such as SPY with the various leverage ETFs for the S&P 500. For those of you who have not viewed our introduction video, I strongly encourage you to do so. You can find that video on our YouTube channel, along with all of our other videos where we have the weekly reviews and analysis. As a brief review, you may recall that Sunshine Signals provides 3 signals daily and sometimes 4. We have main, short-term, weekly, and sometimes a monthly signal is also given. Each signal will show a buy, range, or sell. In addition, every morning before the market opens, Sunshine Signals will provide supports, resistances, and a pivot point. The pivot point will act as the bull-bear line for the day. Sometimes an EOD sequence will be given, but not always. And also, a reference chart will be provided pre-market each day. And the reference chart shows one possibility of how the market may move in a day. However, the reference chart is not to be used as the exact movement of the day, but simply a reference. In the following slides, we'll take a look at how all of this can work together to help find higher probability trades in a trading day. Before we review last week's activities, it is helpful to zoom out and take a look at the larger trend. This is the ES daily chart starting from beginning of 2024. As we can see, the market has been in a clear uptrend since the beginning of the year. From mid-March to mid-April, the market fluctuated between 5160 to 5300 before breaking down in mid-April and finding support at the 4950 to 60 zone. In May, the market recaptured this zone. And from there, it moved back up to test the middle of the zone and then to the top of the zone, where it consolidated and then retested the middle of the zone before breaking out of that zone in early June. The market on Friday, June 14th, closed with a range buy signal and a monthly buy signal. For Monday, June 17th, the reference chart is suggesting an overall up day, but there could be some chop in between. And now let's look at their signal. The signal is giving us a range, a slight downgrade from Friday. There is no EOD sequence. Trend is up, but reducing in value. And a trending date is not detected. So the market here opened above the pivot point. And here for this week's chart, I've added the pivot point line along with resistance and supports that I put on the chart to hopefully viewers will find it a little bit easier to follow. And the midday updates, I did not include lines because I thought that just kind of made the chart a little bit too messy. But the initial supports and resistances are provided here. So, but you'll notice that I did not include the 5408, 5470. So this 5473, and then this 5482 supports is the same as a pivot point. So that's why it's blue and not this green dotted line. So market opened above the pivot point, and in early morning trading, it did not go below our pivot point here. So that would be a long opportunity, and with a stop maybe either kind of below, you can either do a tight stop or you can do a stop below the pivot point here you can get out of the position if it breaks under the pivot point. So here, or for some of the viewers, for some of our members, they waited for a dip, and there really wasn't much a dip on the 17th, but you did have like maybe an 8-point dip here. So some of the members went long here with a stop below the low of day here. And this trade, if you taken it, it went up. It went, it went from about 55, a little bit below, maybe 54.95 area, up to our first resistance at 55.20. So that could have been your first kind of exit point. And here, the price kind of broke through the resistance fairly quickly, and looks like a pretty strong push right here. And there really wasn't any kind of pullback at all. So that's a sign when the prices go above our resistance points that we should not be trying to short this today. And if you're long, then maybe consider holding some runners for the end of the day. So here, resistance came out. We have an upgrading signal and then another upgrading signal. So, and then, when signal upgrades twice, and then you have a buy, even though this could be a topping signal, but still, this suggests it's very bullish. There's very bullish sentiment there. So you just don't try to short this for this day, especially since we don't have a short at EOD sequence. So prices moved up to this resistance and then this next resistance, and then it stopped kind of a little short of the resistance provided here. And so here, if you went long around the 5500 area, 5505 area, this trade would have given you, 15 here, 20 some here, 30 some here. If you held to the end of the day, this could have been like a 50+ point trade. For June 18th, Tuesday, June 18th, the reference chart is showing another possible generally update, but with some volatility expected here. Pre-market, we have a range buy, which is a downgrade from the buy, which is a closing signal from the previous day. There is no EOD sequence. The trend is up. And trending day possibility is not detected. Market here opened above the pivot point, and when it came down, it did not get to a pivot point. So, this could have been a long opportunity, but I think this is a difficult one to trade because we're so far away from the pivot point here and from the support levels that I think it would be a little bit difficult. But for those who took it, this could have given you maybe like a 15-point-ish trade. And then the market moved up, but also could not reach the resistance level. And then, it kind of came back down. So this overall was a narrow range day, and it didn't really offer a lot of trading possibilities. So, and given that the day after, Wednesday, June 19th, is a holiday, so this might have been a good day when you see this type of action, to just kind of take the day off, because again, when prices don't get anywhere close to support and resistance levels, it's kind of difficult to take a trade there. For Thursday, June 20th, the reference chart is showing a possible chop day, but if there is a dip, then it may recover. The signal we have is range buy, unchanged from Tuesday. It's no EOD sequence, trending day possibility is not detected, and trend is still up. At open, we see that prices open above the 5540 pivot point here, and it did not quite get to the resistance at 5583, but if you recall, we also had a 5572 resistance provided on Tuesday, and the prices did get to there. So that could have been a shorting opportunity, and then if prices get up to the 83 level, you could have added added more shorts there. So this trade around the 5570 level would have given you about 30 points. You target the first target. Makes sense for it to come down to test the pivot point. And also, you know, when I say target, I don't necessarily mean you enter here and you hold it all the way to 55.40. I just mean you should still exit along the way per your strategy. You know, some people, they always take some off the table every 10 points. Some people take some off every 5 points. So it's up to you what your strategy is. But you know, but if you're holding it, you know, 55.40 could be it's a logical place to exit most of your short trades here, and then just kind of see what the prices do. If prices are able to break down under the pivot point, then that could be a short opportunity. But if you're holding short from up here, you know, this is a logical place to exit a decent portion of your position. And another reason why I say that this could be a short possibility, even though prices didn't get up to our resistance here, is that the all-time high is at 55.88. So prices here, you know, it's not that far away from the all-time high. So you have a place to put your stop, which is, you know, maybe a couple points above that. And so even though prices didn't quite hit this resistance, you know, it did hit this other the other resistance from Tuesday. So which is why, you know, I'm saying that this could be a good shorting opportunity in terms of risk reward. And here, so prices came down and it kind of bounced back and forth around the 55.40 pivot point for a little bit, and then it did break down. So again, when I'm saying when it breaks down, when you see it breaking down under the pivot point here, and then it kind of came back up, this could have been another short with a relatively tight stop. This could be another shorting opportunity. Targeting, and again, the 55.25 level was one of our supports from Tuesday. So once prices broke down under the 55.40 level, that could have been a short if you're willing to do it, targeting, you know, 55.25, which it did eventually hit, but you know, this is probably just a 10-point trade. So it's, you know, some traders don't like to take trades that are only 10 points. They like to have more, you know, they like to have more. But here, this is a short opportunity. And then prices bounce pretty quickly off of 55.25. So here, you know, some people took longs here, or since that was a support level, or others, once they saw that it recaptured the pivot point, they might have taken longs here. But again, this also had to be a quick trade here because, you know, it's already late in the trading day, and so the bulk of the move, you know, the trade of the day was this short right here. So the bulk of the move is probably done, but some people were able to capture this long. For Friday, June 21st, the reference chart showed a possible drop at some point in the trading day, possibly in the afternoon. Pre-market signal was range buy, unchanged from the day before, no EOD sequence. Trending day possibility is not detected, and the daily trend is up. Market here opened below the 55.40 pivot point, and unlike the day before, the market, you know, tried to get back up, couldn't, and then dropped, and it dropped down to the 55.25 level again. So you'll notice that the day before, you know, this 55.25, 55.40, and 55 area, those are some of the levels that we'll be watching for next day, has possible levels where we could see prices reverse it. So, and here, that's exactly what happened on Friday. So prices came down to the 55.25 level. Looked like it might break down under it, but it didn't. And sometimes they do that. Prices will reach the low of the prior day by a couple points before bouncing back up very sharply. So the 55.25 level could have been a long opportunity, and if you went down further, you could have added long, try to add long at 55.13, or you know, you can set a tight stop, and then try doing a long again if it gets down there. But so here, so the long here, you know, going back up, your first target would be at around 55.40. So that would have given you maybe 10 to 15 points, right? About there. Others might have taken a long, instead of taking a long down here, they might have waited to either take a long here or here. And this one would have, given about 10 points or so. But since the market was not able to capture the prior day's high at 55.55, and also, and this resistance is right around there, it eventually did. So since prices couldn't get above that or even near that, it did eventually kind of come back down to the 55.25 support level again. So this was another narrow day range, but the level still gave some opportunities, and you just kind of had to be quick with your exits and don't hold your trade for too long. Zooming out again, we see that last week rather, prices ended, made an all-time high, and we had an update on Monday, and then prices more or less consolidated at around the highs. So for the week of June 24th, first thing we want to see is for prices to break above 55.72. And if it does, we could test the all-time high at 55.88. And if that breaks, we could see more upsides towards 55.95, 56.05, and 56.15. On the downside, 55.15, well, 55.25 first needs to break. If that breaks, then we want to see 55.15 to break. If that happens, then we could see the test of the 54.90 area right here. And if that breaks, we could see a gap fill towards the 54.40 area here. So I hope everyone had a good week last week, and you enjoy your weekend, and hope everyone have a great week trading this week. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at sunshinesignals@gmail.com.